Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode from Whalejaw 3D. In episode 4, we're going to concentrate on the roof. Oh yeah, that's a good cup of tea there. Oh. Don't forget, if you want to just catch up and jump it straight in, you can click the link below and go to where these files are hosted and just jump straight in, whichever lesson you're joining us on. So, what have we done previously? We've modelled the front end, we've manifolded the back end, we've got the bat wings, we've got the general shape. What we need to do now is we need to start thinking about this roof scoop. If we go to the X view, we can see we're missing a big chunk here, aren't we? Well, it got complicated there, so I left that for its own individual episode. It's kind of like complex geometry, isn't it? So, I'll just finish my cup of tea. Yeah, oh, that's beautiful. Oh, yes. So then, let's get started. No, one more sip of my tea. Oh, I want one more. I know if I start now, I'm going to forget about that tea. So, that's why I'm making most of it. So, with this roof, if we look at the top bit, like this, we put X-ray on, we can see we've got this shape here, haven't we? Yeah? Now, what we need to do is think about at least getting it somewhat, you know what I mean? So, shall we make a start? And just moving these vertices around, getting them into some kind of fashion that makes sense. Yeah? So if we go for the outer one, which we know is the top one, grab a few if you want to speed it up. Pardon, sorry. Drunk a bit too fast. Now, we can then start thinking about, we obviously need our window defining, don't we? So we can see we've already got that geometry. It's already kind of falling in place, so if we just refine that as well. We've also got this like rear hatch thing. This roof does come forward and opens, doesn't it? I've still yet to watch the film. So if we just go around and adjust our geometry, we can see that we've got a straight one here, can't we? So what you could do is, do we even need it? But I think we kind of do to help us define that shape, don't we? So we kind of want it there. I want to pull it in and like put it about, or is it? No, we're on this bottom one. I don't know. Where is it? You see what I mean? We got a straight one. So what we're going to do is we're going to link her in. Just chuck her over there for now. We can deal with it later. And now we can press GG to like follow like that area, can't we? And I think with that, it's splitting off into it. So what we need to do is we need to define that shape a bit more, don't we? So shall we grab a knife and chop ourselves a new path? And I feel like if we come up here and just marry it into there for now, yeah? We can deal with it later. Come in, dissolve that edge, and go back to our top view. So that we can now define that shape a little bit better, can't we? We can even move this one around. Like that. Adjust, tweak, manipulate, just make it work. I can see we're probably going to want some more geometry in there, aren't we? How can we get away with just pulling that all the way down here like that? It needs some more, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is we're going to press Ctrl R there. We're going to add it in. If you look, it goes all the way around. Should be okay. Only add it when you really know you're going to need it, you know what I mean? And then you can deal with it later on. Bring that in there. Bring this up here a little bit more. Now we've got that shape, we need to start thinking about the window, don't we? So, you see that window there? If we put a loop cut in here, just bring it down, round about. I'm going to go for that half. It seemed like the majority less work to do here. If we do, we'll probably do those two at the same time. And there we go. We've kind of got a window shape, haven't we? Yeah? Now, if we look here, it's kind of, it seems a bit messy here, doesn't it? It's annoying. Because it's an afterthought with the geometry. So what we can do is we can kind of work it in ourselves. So now what we can see we need to do is like kind of even this out, don't we? So if we just even it out, and then we'll go back to our top view to kind of tweak it back into position. But we need it to be reasonably even, don't we? So now it's like that. We can come in here and we can readjust basically. Like that one there. Needs more to be more centralised, doesn't it? So if we start to come in, readjust, and it's the lovely relaxing stage now basically of just tweaking. Bring these ones in a little bit just to even it out. And now we've kind of got like our window defined, haven't we? Yeah. I feel like because we've got a triangle there as well, could we cheat and send it over there so that we don't need that vert there? If we dissolve that vertice, that's now at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'd have to send it up there, won't we? Yeah. This is what I basically do. Just start cutting loads of knives in and then just seeing where you can get rid of it. You know what I mean? We've now redirected this one down here, haven't we? So what we can probably do is now dissolve that one. That's made a 1, 2, 3, 4 there. We can bring that one down here like that, which means we can kind of like square that one off up there. We need to send that line down there, don't we? We need a line to go down the middle like that, so that we can dissolve that one and then send a knife down here, which means we can dissolve this edge here. It's just a game of quads, basically, you know what I mean? Which leaves us with those 2 triangles there. But it's going to happen on a corner, you know what I mean? You've got to send that triangle somewhere. But what we can do, looking at that now, is we could just remove that edge. Dissolve that edge, and we've got like all quads. We've directed this triangle into like a nice creased area anyway, so it don't really matter. Yeah? And now looking at this, we could probably even ditch this line here, because we don't need it. So if we dissolve that, we've simplified our mesh a lot more, haven't we? So we can probably come in and just like tidy it up. So that now when we look at it at the top, it's a lot more simple, isn't it? Yeah? So what do we need to do now then? We need to somehow start thinking about extruding this roof up, don't we? So if we look, we've got this bit here. So if we try and form a marker, we've got no vertices, have we, there? So it looks like we need to create some more geometry in this. Press 3, we can do an inset. Obviously, when you do a mirror, can you see where it's crossing over there? We've got to make sure that that doesn't happen. So if we just bring it in like that, shortest way possible, and then we've got to do a little mirror trick. It doesn't take long. You get used to it. You put 2 cuts in there, press enter, and then with your edges on number 2, you just select those edges, that one, that one, that one, and that one. You dissolve these edges. You have to do it one at a time. So if we dissolve that edge, and then we dissolve. And then if we grab this face, delete this face, so that when we grab this edge, we can delete that edge, and grab that one, and delete that edge. It basically makes it a mirrored object, doesn't it? So we could just simply select that edge and fill it again. Undo. Apparently it didn't select the whole edge. So if we just press 1 and check it, we've got an issue, haven't we? And as we can see, we've got an extra vertice. So if we just select that one and dissolve that vertice there, so that when we select the edge, it selects everything. Look, yeah? Press fill, we can see we've got the same problem again up here. So if we undo that, dissolve the vertice, select the edge, and press fill, we finally got a clean top, haven't we? Now what we can do with these 3 vertices here is we can actually measure whereabouts that extrusion wants to be. We need it to happen at the front there, don't we? So if we pull them up to that front there, that's actually made like quite a nice separation line into a point here. Yeah, makes me wonder if we could move that one to a more satisfying, relaxed location, say there, like that, yeah. And it'll just help us when we're trying to, if we just like help ourselves with the straight line that we're going to extrude, you know what I mean, like that. If we look at this one, we can see it needs to come up a little bit, don't we? Yeah, so just help ourselves out there. What we can do now is we can think about selecting what we want for our roof. It's going to be this bit, this bit. It's probably going to be down to about here, isn't it? So if we spin around and make sure we're growing off, you could probably say we need these bits as well, don't we? So now we can press E to extrude on the Z. Press Z to like switch whether you want it to snap to it. We can just chuck it there for now and then check in here. We can see we need to bring it down a little bit. Select your ones and just start adjusting. We can see that that back end needs to come up a bit more, don't we? So if we just pull it out, separate it out a little bit, you know what I mean? And we can blend it in basically. Yeah. So if we just have a quick visual so we can see what we're working with. Yeah. It's all simple stuff, isn't it? So if we look at this, we can see it's a bit wonky, so may as well come in and just round her up, you know what I mean? At least help it. So that when we move it back like this, we can shove it down. It should reveal what we need to do with this one as well. So if we go with the G like that, just pull it back, come to the top. We could probably say we want to suck it in a lot more, don't we, like that? Yeah. Yeah, because it needs that Batman feel, doesn't it? So now we've done this, turn X-ray off, we can start looking at the top and realise like this is all crazy. We don't want that, do we? So, and it's obviously going to start fixing some geometry down here. So if we just suck those in like that, we know we need to send that one down here, don't we? That one's just not right. So if we come out and just fire that geometry down there and get rid of this one, we can then think about what we need to do with that one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fire it off down to the bottom out of the way. So we've got we've got the room for it, then delete, or dissolve rather, that one there. So that now I can see a lot clearer what we're working with. We've got this one here, which is an issue. Just running these up, it just doesn't need to, does it? So, ideally, I think what needs to happen is that one needs to merge into this one here, don't it? So if we merge it at the last, then we can just dissolve this one. And that gets rid of one, but in the wrong way. So, I usually like to use the edges. If we just dissolve the edge instead, it works a lot better. That's got rid of one for us, hasn't it? So, we've only got one left now. And for the sakes of only one, it might be worth just chucking it in as a loop cut, you know what I mean? Because we're probably going to want to define that corner anyway. And we've got to for the lid, so we've got to carry it somewhere. So if we just fire it down here, like so, and then we could probably press a GG just to pull it into the middle so it's a bit smoother, you know what I mean? So that we've now connected all our geometry, it's all like equal. I've also just spotted this one here. You can see him. We just come in, bang her in. Don't really worry about running it around the bottom because we can just do that at the end. Yeah. So our geometry is starting to make a lot more sense now, isn't it? So might be worth coming in, now we've done all that, and relaxing it all. So if we just press our GG, our favourite button, just to kind of spread it out a little bit. Do 3 at once if you want. GG. I mean, spread it out a little bit. It's like that one could move over loads, couldn't it, to make a bit of room. Yeah, now we can start to see. Because when you grid it up as well, when you tidy it up, it's a lot easier to see where your areas are, you know what I mean? So we can see that that's like a massive issue. So if we just press GG on that and bring it over, what we can see, that one realistically should just fire straight down into that one, shouldn't it? It'd make a lot more sense if it just did that. So if we press enter on that, we can basically alt select this one here and dissolve it. If we dissolve the edges, then all we've got is this one that we've got to worry about, haven't we? So with that one, we can just tail it off and bring it down to there. I love doing quads, I do. I think it's really satisfying. It's a game of squares, or what do they call it? Low poly modeling. By the end of it, we'll have a low poly model. Yeah, so it's starting to look a lot more tidy. Yeah, we've got our roof scoop now. We've kind of got a defined edge here. Probably run that in a bit more there. But you know what I mean? Might even be worth chucking another loop in there just to even it out. Yeah? What we probably should do is scale the X to 0. Just so we've got like a nice crispy line. Scale the X to 0. And then you've got nice crispy lines on you. Then we can bring them over. Select these ones, bring them over. Yeah? It's all starting to come together. Tidy that one up, bring it in using GG. We can start to see that this edge probably should relax it a little bit, shouldn't we? So if we just bring it down like that as a whole, kind of make it back. If we come into our side view, we can see that that needs to be kind of up there, doesn't it? This one realistically needs to be a lot more up here. So we need to bring that one over, don't we? Just chuck it way over there for now. Chuck this one here and bring that one back to where you need it. What we can see is we probably need to do that for all of these, really. So if we just select those there, press GG, bring it over. Then we could do the same for this and it should like level it out a bit. So if GG it gives us the room then to come in with these and just knock them over, you know what I mean? It's giving us a lot more of a better of a slope. Shall we scale the X on a 0 as well? Just to give us a nice crispy starting point. As we can see, we've got a triangle there as well, which is surprising. But we're not dealing with that section yet, are we? All we need to do is now come in, just probably check the front now, so that we can get an idea of what we want. My blueprints are dreadful. If we select everything and scale the Z, and then just pull it down like that, we bang on again. So we can start to look at our measures, you know what I mean? Is that even part of our geometry? No, it's not. So don't click that one. We've got our top and our bottoms. If we just mark the tops and the bottom so we can see. It's looking about there, isn't it? So what we need to think about doing now then is bringing those two over. Because it looks a bit uncomfortable there. There we go. We need to carry this geometry through here. In fact, no. what we're going to do is this. Let's select these faces. Yeah. And if we press insert, but keep it really close to like the size, and then we just pull it back like that, you've made yourself a bit of a scoop. And all we have to do is select this face and delete it, because it's on the mirror, remember. Now, you've got yourself a bit of a tear in the seam. It's simple enough. Grab your edge, pull it to the middle, let it clip. And we've got ourselves our scoop, basically, haven't we? Now, it's probably not as ideal as we want it with this lipped edge here, but we can utilise, say, this area here, can't we? To, if we just bring it up and then bring it forward. Probably should scale the Y on a 0 to get a bit of a flat edge. And it's the same for this edge here. Scale the Y on a 0. We've got ourselves. We need to look at the reference. It's kind of rounded, isn't it? So we want it to extrude a little like that. But now we've got this, we could probably think about putting in a loop cut. If we put this loop cut in here to give us that extra space, what we can do with this is maybe scale it down a little bit, just to give it a bit of bite. And then what we need is this section here. Yeah, you see it. And we just need to bring it forward and down like that, just to give you that like fatness. And then we can come in and just press the ones, find that one we've just buried in there, kind of thing. If you put your see-through on, you can see it there, look. And we just bring it up, then use GG to like follow your geometry. GG back to suck it in a little bit. And you see, can you see, we're just starting to form that shape. Yeah, awesome. So we've got a pretty good roof scoop, I'd say. We just need to move those into the middle, relax it a little bit. And we've got our roof scoop. Now, if we just check our reference, we can see, because I've shrunk it earlier, it's obviously changed. So select all, scale the Z, and just move it up into place. There we go, it's kind of there, isn't it? We can see that we need a softer edge down here, can't we? So how are we going to manage that? If we look here, we need to rotate that face, don't we? So if we select those ones, and then come in and select these ones here, we can look at the side view, and we can see, and we could probably rotate like that, you see? Just get it round about, switch to our ones, and pull that up there. And we can see we've got more of a tilt action on our thing. Yes, it's disturbed our geometry, but we can come in and just manipulate it how we want, can't we? Like this one, if we just pull it back a little bit, like that. This one, if we pull it down a little bit, like that. And then this one, we suck it in like that. Probably pull it back out. Might have to do a bit of manual pulling like that. If we bring this one in as well, just to help it out. Probably say we need to sink that down a little bit more, don't we? Change it a little bit there. That's what it is. You just got to constantly faff around, tweak it till it's right. Yeah. So we've kind of got our roof. This bit looks a bit janky here, doesn't it? So if we just pull that back there like that, might be worth putting a bit of a curve on it. Yeah. We can see we're kind of getting there, aren't we? Yeah. Might just relax this one a little bit, pull it down. Might be able to get away with now. Just tidy it up a little bit. That means smooth those edges out. Using GG might be too much. Like these two here, I feel like could come down to like there, so that that one can come down a little bit. There we go. Yeah, just have a game of vertices challenge. Pull them out. I always try to do multiple, and then you end up just doing one at a time. You know what I mean? It's part of being a beginner, I guess. Well, now we could probably use the GG on that just to like fill it out, run them uphill. Yeah, it starts to smooth itself out. There we go. This one here, probably should send it up there a little bit, down a bit. Yeah, we're probably going to have to get rid of that triangle at some point. I just don't want to send another geometry down there. So now we've completed that, we'll probably think about making this a little bit chunkier as well, can't we? So if you just widen her up, there we go. Yeah, and we're getting there. So now we've done all that messing about, probably could come in here, give it a scale on the Y and a 0, make it nice and flat, you know what I mean? We could probably make it a bit deeper if we want. Yeah, lovely. So we've done our roof scoop. If we look at the side now, we're near as damn it on it. What I'm going to do as well is bring these forward a little bit. So this is probably a side issue. Yeah, that's the beginning of the curve. So if we get these ones, came in and just oofed them up to there, we can see a bit better. If we check our reference, we can see that's the angle that we should be following. So if we now just grab this one up to this one, no, too far away. Grab that one up to that one and just send that one up to even it out. We should have our hole that they are saying is the hole. Yeah. So if I pull that down, let's ramp it in a bit better. Like that. Yeah. What we can do is start sucking in these edges as well. You know what I mean? So that we can actually see them a bit better. Like that, yeah. So if we look at our side view, we've kind of got that fulfilled. Maybe we don't. Maybe if we bring that up as well. Bring that forward. Try and match that into the... Yeah, we kind of need those ones, don't we, over there? It's defining our crease, our lift. So I think we're about there. These could probably do with being sock on level with that, couldn't they? Yeah. So should we leave it at that? It takes some fiddling, but you'll get there. I'm going to bring these down a little bit more. More airflow. I mean. So once we've done that, we can start thinking about probably doing our windows, maybe. That should do us. I think I know what's bugging me on this. This needs to come up and forward and make a chunky lip, don't it? That's what's got... Yes, it makes sense now. Which means we can bring these back round here, so they make sense. There we go, that's what the issue is. Yeah. And then these can kind of like come in a bit better and make more sense. They're kind of flat, aren't they? I'm trying to see if like we've got the flatness that we want. So I'll probably lift those up, try and get a bit more evenness. And if we just now select all of these, because we've kind of got what we want, haven't we? We can kind of just like smooth her in, so it's a bit less aggressive, like that. Which then means we need to keep retweaking this one like that. I feel like that's going to flow in a lot more better, isn't it? So, shall we think about doing the windows now? We're half an hour in. I like to do an hour sitting. So shall we try and do the window, and then we'll have like this area complete, won't we? So if we look here, we've got this, haven't we? Just make sure I've got it selected. Yeah. We need to now bring these down, don't we? So if we press GG, it gets us most of the way. And then just let's define our window. Let's keep adjusting until you're about there with them, like so. We're going to keep that one like that. Probably just run this one down to feather it out. And what we can see we need here is we need another line of geometry. Now, can we pinch one from up here? You know what I mean? Because it feels like it's getting a bit hectic there anyway. I feel like we can kind of grab one and pull it down like that, which would then relieve this area. I feel like this area needs something going through like that, which means we can probably then dissolve these edges like that. Yeah? We've accidentally overmade geometry there, so we should just dissolve those. So if we just fire through that geometry now so we don't forget about it. Just put it there, I know I'll see it later on. We go back to orthographic, we check up on it, put our ones back in. We now have a bit more geometry to play with, don't we? Pull this down here. We can't really adjust that one, can we? So we need to put like a long ways one in there, don't we? I'll do it. We're going to need one through the middle, I think. So we're going to need to adjust this point here. So let's tidy up again. Put our squares back so our brain don't hurt. We know we might need to move that one to the edge there, don't we? I could probably think about moving this one to the edge as well. Is it worth putting one in here as well? If we put one in there, that would allow us to define that shape there, wouldn't it? I think we're going to have to put a knife cut in there just to carry it through. Well, in order to define this window shape here, I think what we're going to have to do, because it's a corner, we're going to have to pinch it off at some point, you know what I mean? So if I now just select this one and dissolve it, no, undo. We've got to make a triangle at some point. It's going to happen. We can solve it later on. But what we've achieved now is we can define this shape here, can't we? Apart from that one there, just need to move that one in like that. Maybe move that one there. Move that one down there like that. You know what I mean? We've kind of got a window shape. It's an almighty mess, but we've got it. You know what I mean? I could probably come in and just like self-correct, because there's some bad bits in it, isn't there? So if we just smooth them off, you know what I mean? Go to our front view, we can see them a bit better. Yeah, while we're in the front view, we may as well check up on, if we go to our side view and we define what our top layer is, like that, so that when we go to our front view, I can actually see what's what. You can see these drawings are awful. So I'm just going to select everything, give it a G and a Z, and just move it down so it's correct. Roundabout. That's all we need. So that now I can see that these top layers need to like be slightly tweaked, can't we? And then we need to figure out which one. That's your window. Yep. Now we need to figure out the bottom one, don't we? So if we just quickly select these ones, compare it to, you can see they're slightly different, can't you? So let's teach you a trick. What we're going to do is this whole section here, we don't really need to see it, do we? So if we select it like that and we just press hide, which is the letter H, yeah, we can just hide it for a minute. And it's the same for the rear. So if we come round, we just select all these that we don't want, including those, with the X-ray, including those, and then press hide, we can kind of like see a lot better. Yeah. So we know we need to bring these ones up, don't we? So if we bring them up like that, that one's got to mirror. And just go around and adjust the front bits that we couldn't really see before. Yeah. Tweak them around like that. And then if we go around and double check it, we can see it's coming together, can't we? Check our side view. We can see that that one's like that. And once you've done it, if you press Alt and H, it will reverse what you've hidden. Yeah. Which is super useful. And because we've moved this model, obviously, it's all the difference. So it's got to be guesswork. But we've kind of defined that shape, haven't we? Yeah. Around the front, we can kind of see it to the point that we should be able to select it. We press Alt and Z and just somehow sort this area out because it's kind of a mess, isn't it? If we just come in, fluff her out. These two here, they kind of need to go in a little bit. This one here does not need that, does it? I keep seeing triangles and want to kill them. We don't need that one, so we're going to dissolve that edge. We've got a shape, and obviously we've moved, so I'm going to trust my front shape now. What we need to do as well is if we add a loop cut here, because we need to define that area, don't we? Go through, you can see it's added a loop cut just in the rear. While we're here, I'm just going to sort that one because it bugs me. Like that. Now, I feel like what I want to do as well is I want to just start isolating some areas. I'm going to cut that one off there, and then we're going to delete this here, or dissolve it rather, yeah, just to relax it a bit better. I'm going to dissolve this, dissolve that, and dissolve that, just to make it a lot more cleaner, you know what I mean? What we can probably think about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we've got to put triangle in. We need to somehow flatten this area, don't we? So I'm going to try a trick now. If we select, say, down to here, kind of that area. Like, this area is a bit annoying for us, isn't it? We'd like it to be smoother. So what can you do? I think the first thing we need to do is shrink the selection, because it's actually that area, isn't it? We kind of want to preserve everything else around. I did that with control and minus. What we can try and do is this, relax. And it's kind of like blended it in a lot better, isn't it? But the trouble is, it will have ruined our pattern. Or has it? Not so much. It's made it a lot more better than we had it. So if we come in fact, that was actually beautiful. That's perfect. That's what we needed. It's kind of still following the shape, isn't it? But it's relaxed it for us. It's not a crazy mess now. We can probably do with that in this same area here, can't we? I don't know. It's kind of fine. Yeah, we're good. It's more that these ones need to just come in and relax in, don't they? Yeah. These ones there could probably come up here a bit now in the middle. I feel like I want to send that one into that one to dissolve, and we could basically keep doing that to this corner point here. But for now, it's not a problem. So shall we finally select our window area? We can see as well that loop cut we put in for that window didn't actually do it. So we dissolve that and then try again on this bit. You know what I mean? We know what we're about there. What we need to do is start selecting our window area. So if we come in using control, and grab mostly what we need, we know it's kind of this bit, don't we? Then go into a side view just to check. Yeah, it's our front view we're relying on because that's the one we've scaled to. You know what I mean? It's kind of right about there. We can deal with it. So what do we want to do now? Personally, I just want to delete it. So I'm going to delete all those faces, and now we have a better feel for the shape. Now if we select this edge, it's going to be difficult to extrude it inwards, so I'm probably going to unselect these two here. I'm going to press E to extrude and then scale. I'm going to try and pull it in like that. Yeah, it's not going to be an exact science, but we need to get, it's nice to get it round about on your first attempt. Now if we tried it with that bit, it'd be annoying kind of thing. I feel like that's how we want it, isn't it? We could probably bring these ones forward a bit. They didn't need to be that far forward. Yeah, and we've kind of got ourselves an indented area. So what we can do then with number 2 is come in and just press extrude on the Y so that we can guarantee that that's gone in at a flat plane, you know what I mean? That was my idea, so because we know that needs to be like straight, don't we? And then with our ones, we can just do a quick merge on the last, and bang, it's in, you know what I mean? And that's kind of like, you've got your reference point then. Merge at your last, and you know, like, you want these to marry into that corner, so we can kind of like fire them down a little bit. Yeah, in fact, then you adjusting over here, and then you knocking down a little bit. Yeah, give it a GG, bring it round, bring it down, bring that one down, and just work your way around, tidy it up. Yeah, are you enjoying this so far at least? While I come round and tidy these up, how are you getting on with this so far? Comment below if you're enjoying it. Are you excited for your Batmobile? Are you daunted how much work's involved? Yep, so we've kind of got a window now, haven't we? This is lovely. I'm going to just bring those in. It seems a bit chunky, doesn't it? Same with these, we haven't done the roof yet. I think it's better. Just bring those in like that. Correct these geometries, make it a bit more even. Now we've got a recess for our window. We've got an option now. If we want to, we could build the model into this window. But say like you wanted to 3D print it, you might want to separate it. So at the minute, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill it for 3D printing purposes. If you wanted, you could come in after and like separate it out, couldn't you? So what I need to do is press 2, select that one, and select that one. If we press fill now like that, I do believe we should be able to keep pressing fill and just go across and fill it in. This is why I deleted like the middle, because we've got nice and crispy now, haven't we? Now we can see here that geometry, we don't actually need it really, do we? So if we dissolve those edges, we should have a sealed model there now as well. So if we click that edge and just press G to check that it's sealed, it is. Lovely. Now we've kind of got our window, haven't we? Lovely jubbly. So now we've got our window, we can start looking at, can we make this geometry any better here? I'm going to go in and tidy it up. I'm going to do it quietly. Yeah, so I've had a quick tidy up, but you'll find yourself, it never ends. You'll keep tweaking. You know what I mean? This is what it is. Now, if we look at the roof on the Batmobile, it's not this indented, you know what I mean? So, what we can probably do is start filling in that geometry for it, can't we? To finish it off. So if we just run these cuts in, like that, and then we start to marry these into something else like that. We can see we've come out with lovely quads. So what we can think about doing now is with our faces and make sure we've got all that area selected and that little odd one there, and select that. We can start like lifting it up a bit to like round the edge, can't we? Yeah? So if we go into our side view, we can start like leveling it off there, can't we? Now it might be worth running in another cut there up to there. I feel like it doesn't matter after that because it's like that's going to be hidden anyway. So we're just going to sneak one in, you know what I mean? And it might be worth doing the same across here, like that. But that's made 2 triangles, so we're not going to do that. But basically, my goal is, if we get the 2s, like that, we can start just jacking it up a little bit, you know what I mean? To round it off. Make it a bit more of a rounded surface. Just progressively coming in and raising it up. Just to give that bit of a rounded roof, you know what I mean? And then you can come in with your wands and just fine tune it. If we look, these ones need coming down a bit, don't they? Those ones are probably a little bit high. Just knock them down a frazzle like that. Yeah, we're kind of getting a bit more of a rounded roof, aren't we? Might be worth spreading these out a bit more now as well. Give them a bit more room to breathe. Yeah, and just refine it in. I feel like we've got a bit of a rounder roof now, haven't we? You can see it. Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad. Our subdivision should help us a lot. I mean, it's reasonably flat. I'd just say that maybe these 3 want to come back a little bit more. It's got a nice smooth slope, hasn't it? Yeah. I love this bit. I could noodle all day long. What are we on? 56 minutes. I'd say we've pretty much completed the roof, haven't we? For what we want out of it. That's how you do like indentations, extrusions, like a vent, stuff like that. Yeah? We just maybe need to, like say, pop those ones up just to even it up. Yeah? I'm going to say these 3 here as well. I'd like, oh, it's 4, isn't it? I'd like to kind of relax them. So for GG, just to iron them out a little bit. If we come out, we're starting to get the Batmobile shape, aren't we? Yeah? We'll deal with this triangle some other time. Well, we could solve it now. If you click this one, and click it onto that one, press enter, dissolve that one there, you basically made quads. We've solved it instantly. Yeah? I love doing quads. I really do love doing quads. It's so satisfying. If you enjoyed this episode, I think the next episode, I don't know what we want to tackle. We could do the snout a bit more. We could do come around the rear, because it might be worth, now we've done all this rear, is to like follow the geometry down the back end, you know what I mean? Just to kind of like tidy it up and start maybe doing these back wings here, yeah? So I don't want to do the wheel arches till I've done the back wings, because the back wings are going to be like a very complex geometry, aren't they, if you look at them. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying this. I've filmed it in a way that you should be able to just like watch it and then go and do it yourself, you know what I mean? And then put it on again a second time, just watch it as you're doing it. That's right. You know what I mean? I'm getting excited for this. This is going to look wicked when we're done. I'm pumped. Alright, see you next one, kids. Bye.